Hi everyone, I'm sorry about missing last month. I was redoing my studio. It's still not completely finished yet. I don't have paintings up on the wall, but tonight we're just going to do a no plan painting and discover what it's like to paint with that freedom of not having a plan and just seeing where the paint takes us. So let's do that tonight. Let's just wet the page. I've got a 2.5 inch Holbein Hake here. Just wet the page. And I suppose the only part of the plan that I have for this is that I would like there to be some form of horizon down here, and I would like the sky to be the subject. So it's not a complete abstract. And let's see where we start. I might start with some unusual colour choices. Get a bit of Alizarin crimson, which is pretty strong. Light red. A bit of cadmium red. Let's just put in a little bit of colour. It is a beautiful colour, alizarin crimson, like really beautiful. Just haven't. I must have hurt the paper a bit there. Look at that. Wow. Interesting. I think I must have just hurt the paper just then. Anyway. Nice. We'll leave that brush so we can keep coming back to it. I'll grab this. This looks like a 1.5 inch to me. Where are we going to go next? Let's go a bit of French Ultra. We'll just bring that in, and that will mix nicely with that. Like even if I paint multiple times, it's not going to create mud or anything like that, so that's kind of nice actually. I'm going to have to do something about that, mark on that page. It's quite incredible how much that's marked the paper. Wow. Let's get a bit darker now. Beautiful. Might just get a 1 inch Holbein Hake again, flicked out, so I can just get a bit of water out of that. A bit too much water. I'll just get those dollops that I accidentally put on there. That's very nice. It's a beautiful. I might just get this hair out of here without scratching the paper. And this hair, even though it looks like a bird, I could leave that. No. Just soften up here a little bit. Don't really want a sharp white edge just there. You can have a bit of light, that's fine, but I might just give this a little bit more at the bottom here. Just thinning it out, just so I can just have a little bit more detail at the bottom here. Often there is a little bit of just something on the horizon, just because obviously the clouds get closer together. So we could just have something on the horizon there, just often the case a little bit. Also, by the way, sorry, I'm using an Archer's piece of cold pressed watercolour paper, 300 GSM. All of the paints paper brushes will all be in the description underneath, so check that out if you're wondering about things. I think that on the whole is a really nice beginning. And now my question is then, if I wanted to have a nice, firm horizon, do I dry it all now and then come in and make a nice sharp edge? Or do I keep going with softness and then bring sharpness back later? It's always a slight dilemma. I think I might stay with the softness for now and just keep going. Let's not dry it. Let's Let's just get a little bit of this colour down into here too, because of course you're not going to have all that all up there and not have anything down here. So let's just do that. We'll get some pretty thick pigment if we can, so it doesn't tend to explode everywhere. It'll still move because it's still quite damp. This is just a quick break to say, if you'd like some more help with your watercolours, you'd like to understand the medium of watercolour, then check out in the link below and also up above my Watercolour Landscapes for Beginners course. It's a really great way to just understand this medium and gain confidence and then enjoy that process of painting. Right, let's get on with it. And actually what I could do initially is just come in with a brush to create this horizon first, kind of where I want it. Soak up a little bit of that moisture on that horizon. Let's see what happens. So obviously things generally reflect in a mirror, so that blue there would be coming this way like this. And this would be coming in here like this. Let's just grab a nice colour combination, because you can just meld them together a bit and create those beautiful soft edges without muddying. Now this is always going to happen, all this sort of movement up. But what I might do is bring in a little bit more pigment on the horizon to just help it to also push it back down a bit. So we'll just get a little, it's quite a weak mix. We don't want too much wet moisture in the brush, but we'll just come in and just give it a bit more in the horizon. And we can kind of join those together a bit, make them. We'll come back with crispness later. I'll just soften that a little bit. And actually, let's just create a bit of light. So I've got some interest, like a bit of light here. We'll just take all the moisture out and it can just pick it up a bit. Pick it up a bit. Make sure it's fresh. Flick it out or dab it somewhere and we'll just get a bit more light. And a bit more light coming down. Often what happens, you get some light coming down. Excellent, that'll do. Now I might just get a little bit of French Ultra and a little bit of light red. To make a bit of a dark mix for the horizon there. I could of course use cobalt blue and light red, but I'm already using French Ultra, so I may as well keep the colour combinations going. Alright, I think I'm going to dry this and then I'll come in with that dark as a dry brush mark. We'll see how that goes. Okay, let's get a bit of tape. Pop it on the horizon. You could of course measure it if you wanted to. Because I'm using, oh, I made that a bit tight. Because I'm using arches, I don't have to worry too much about tearing the paper. But if you're using softer paper, then you might need to. I'll press that down nice and firmly. I'm going to come in with my dark mix of French Ultra with light red. In some ways I could just leave this painting like this. I think it's very beautiful, very pretty. But I do love a painting with dark darks, so we'll see. Let's go kind of here, because there's armatures coming down here, there's armatures here. This makes sense for this to be the subject, and then we might take the eye sort of this way, but let's just, well, this and this could be, and then, anyway, let's just pop a bit on the horizon here. Let's just get a bit wetter, take a bit out. Let's get a damp brush, flick it out again. Now I think what would be interesting is if we get some movement happening here. It might not go with this style of painting, but it also could just be interesting to see what happens. We might just start to just squeeze a bit here, let it run. It might go under the tape because that's a lot of water by the tape. I wasn't thinking that would go by the tape. I thought that would go somewhere else. Come on. Oh, let's go more vertical. Just makes for some interesting lines. Have a bit of this. Let's see if we can. Oh, jeez. I don't know how that happened. I'll fix that in a second. I just want some interesting lines without controlling it too much. Gee whiz, that was a bit silly. Let's go this way. Just fix that a bit. My splatters on the page. It's typical me. Get a bit more going across the page, a bit weaker, a bit more interesting watermarks. Let's just nice. Whoops. Jeez. I really do know how to make a mess. Let's just tip it up this way a bit. Get a bit more movement. Kind of trying to just, I don't know, just have some interest. Spray a bit. Spray a bit. Spray a bit out here. Let's get a bit darker. Right, let's tip that up a bit. A bit of darkness coming across there. Nice. I think that is lovely, actually. Nice. Apart from all my splatters up here. I think because there was so much water going across here, I think it's definitely come up under the tape. We'll see what we can do about that. Let's lift this off. Yep, under the tape by a lot. Anyway, that's okay. Let's work with what we've got. Let's just get a bit more dark in around here a little bit. Just help it a bit. I actually think I like that as it is. I'm going to leave that horizon all a bit higgledy-piggledy. The only thing I could do when it's dry is I could bring back to white something here. Like bring back something to light here, because this is more the subject area and yet I've got a big expanse of dark there. So, but that would make a great highlight, is some light there. It would be great if that light, if I had have done that, if the light had have just been an organic shape rather than me scratching back or something. But we'll see what we can do. I'll dry this. I really like this. I might just let this dry a bit naturally, because if I start getting the hairdryer, it'll move some of these things around, and I like it. I like it just the way it is, actually. So I'm just going to leave it. I really like these charged areas of alizarin crimson. That's really nice, sort of reflecting that a little bit. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. Nice bit of granulation. Some beautiful marks. Yeah, let's just let this dry naturally, and then we'll come back. While that's still damp, actually, I might just bring in a light, not scratched into the paint rather than scratching it through dry paint. We'll see if that works, but I think that could look nice. Let's just see. With this little knife from the Swiss card thing that I've got. Let's leave that, and then I might scratch back to light a little bit along the top of that. All right, let's let this dry for a bit longer. So I'll just go and have a look at this from a distance and then decide what to do next. But I think at the moment I'm thinking that actually I'm not going to make this white. I'm liking more of a Z composition actually, so that actually the subject's more going to be here rather than over here. Let's just stand back and have a look. It's very hard to know until you stand back, really. So I think I'm just going to leave it like this. I really love this from a distance, and for me it's not a seascape anymore. It's fields with some water that's reflecting and catching the light. It might be a river, it might be just like flooded paddocks as they make their way back. I am kind of tempted to start to put in some details and grasses and things like that, and then reflected in the water and things that could be really nice. But at the same time, I really like that this allows the viewer to just decide what this is for them. Like if I start putting in too much detail, then I'm deciding what this is really. And I really quite like the ambiguity of it. I feel like the sky is the weakest part now, which is unusual for me. You know, normally my skies are pretty good to a certain extent, you know. But yes, nice, really lovely painting. I'll probably just sign it down here in the bottom, and then I'll put it in a frame, like mock it up, I mean, like not actually put it in an actual frame, heaven forbid. I'll mock it up in a frame, put it on a wall and see what it looks like. But I really do think that this from a distance looks really cool. I really like, and I love those really light beginnings that we did, and then they get highlighted by the darks that we've put in. So it's really nice. So I hope you enjoyed tonight's video of painting with freedom, with no plan, and what that kind of feels like to just let the watercolour do its thing a bit, work with what happens. It is a really lovely feeling to trust yourself, trust the watercolour, and to just see what you can create on the page. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next month. See ya. Bye for now.